There are 9 teams this year where I have them either winning 1.5 more games or losing 1.5 more games than the betting companies think they will based on their season wins over or under. So in this video, I'm going to go through what those 9 teams are and what number of wins I predict they're going to have this season. And when you multi up all 9 wins, it pays $331 with the TAB. They're one of the only companies that allow you to multi it up as well. But importantly, and this is a key point, is these individual bets are all ones that I'm backing individually, and you want to shop around and get the best line and best odds for each one on their own. And then, so how I'm staking is 1 unit staking across these bets, and then also adding a small percentage, basically 0.2 of a unit onto the overall multi if 9 were to all hit. And these ones that I'm adding here aren't ones where I think it's just going to scrape over or just scrape under. I think it'll be a couple of games over or a couple of games under. And of all 9, I am expecting 6 to 7 of them will win. And hopefully we can hit that 8th and 9th one and get the multi as well. But multis are a very effective part of your betting strategy when used smartly and not just used to chase big wins. So running through the team. So firstly, Adelaide, I'm taking the over 12.5. Last year they won 11 games. This year I have them moving up to 14 wins. Last season, they were the top attacking side. I think they can improve their areas defensively. If they hold those attacking numbers, they're going to win more games. And last year, they lost 5 games by 6 points or less. So they should have the opportunities to win. Again, obviously, they had the issues with how they missed the finals last season and all of that. So they should be motivated to perform well. Next, the Brisbane Lions, over 15.5 wins. Last year, they won 17 games. I have them winning 17 again. For the Lions, you can pretty much lock in 11 wins at the Gabba, as they've been virtually unbeatable there over the past couple of seasons. And then they have a few easy games on the road. So I think they're going to be pushing that 16, 17 wins again this year. And they're going to improve defensively after already being a good attack. A couple of teams where I'm not interested in betting on them though. Carlton at 13.5 have them winning 14 games. So I think that line's pretty much spot on. Collingwood at 15.5. They won 18 last year. I have them winning 15 this season. So I've slight lean towards the under, as the odds are already doing there. Essendon taking under 10.5 wins. The Bombers won 11 games last season. I have them dropping a little bit. They got a tougher draw this season, and they need to be more consistent throughout the year. Have them winning 9 games this year. Fremantle, 9.5 is what the Lions set out. I have them winning 9 games, so slightly in towards the under. GWS, 14.5, have them winning 15 games, up from 13 last season. So leaning towards the over, and interestingly, it is juiced towards the under. So could contemplate a bet there, but just going to leave that one. Geelong, 11.5. They won 10 games last season, have them winning 12 this year, so lean towards the over. Gold Coast, 11.5 wins. Have them winning 11 games this season, up from 9 last year on the back of the easiest draw. Hawthorn, 8.5 wins. Have them winning 8 games this season. They're strong in the forward line, but do have injuries, and their defense relies heavily on Sicily. So if he stays fit, I think Hawthorn can go over this number. But I feel like this is going to be very, very close. Melbourne, 14.5, have them winning 14 games, so slightly down from the 16 last year, but I think that line's pretty much spot on. North Melbourne, 5.5. They won 3 games last year, have them moving up to 5 this season. So still slight lean towards the under, but it wouldn't surprise me with Clarkson coaching this whole season. They could improve to maybe 6 to 7 wins if they really have a good year. Port Adelaide taking the over 13.5 wins. They won 17 games last season, went on that big winning streak, winning 13 straight games. They only lost to top 8 teams, so you can definitely count on them winning quite a few games against those lesser opponents. They have a tough draw, but I think they can go over this 13.5 and win 15 games this year. Richmond taking the under 9.5. The Tigers won 10 games last year, have them coming down to 8 this season. Just hard to see much upside with the Tigers. Just they got a few good players throughout their lineup, but just overall as a team, I think it's going to be hard for them to win that many games. St Kilda over 11.5. The Saints are top 2 defense. Just need to improve going forward. They won 13 games last year, so it's hard to see them going backwards off of that. Have them winning 14 games, so that's a stronger one there. I have it 2.5 wins higher than the line. Sydney Swans under 13.5 wins. Have the Swans winning 11 games, which is one down from the 12 that they won last year. Tough schedule that they have to deal with, and I just don't think they can improve that much on what they did last season. Then the West Coast Eagles taking under 4.5 wins. The Eagles won 3 last season. They have an easy draw and that same advantage of playing in Perth, but I just don't think they can. I can't see them winning 5 or more games this year, so I do like that under. And then the Western Bulldogs over 11.5 wins. They won 12 last season, lost 6 of 7 games that were decided by 12 points or less, and they have a much easier draw this year. So have them winning 13 games, and really, unless they have a ton of injuries, I can't see them going under that 11.5. Make sure you check out the video on the futures bets, because that's where it highlights my favorite futures bets. But backing all these 9 plays individually, and then also 4.2 of a unit, adding it onto the $331 dollar multi for them all up. As I said, the multis are a very small part of my overall betting strategy, but I do use them to advantage when applicable. So for example, this same bet on Sportsbet only pays 251, and obviously I'm not expecting to hit it. The point is to make money off betting these selections individually, but if they all hit, then I want to be able to capitalize on that. So that's the plan with the season wins multi. The season kicks off tonight, so make sure you're following and subscribed all season long for previews of the games every single week. Reviews, going to be posting betting insights, so then you're able to make really smart betting decisions each week. So therefore, you're then able to be cashing out profits all season long, because at the end of the day, that's why we're betting on the games, to be able to make money. And if you know what to look for, and then you actually look for those things before just placing your bets, then you're giving yourself that opportunity to be profitable.